think, one, on agriculture, I'm impressed by Lydia's knowledge of the sector. The problem with the government is that it is run by people who will only understand tomorrow. Because after 40 years, you're telling us about these initiatives. Why should we, after 40 years of running government, be talking about genetic improvement to be able to match with the rest in the region? I am a farmer. That's why I have an interest in it. We've been recently to Nairobi, to Kiambu. I looked at their cows, looked at my cows back home, and I said I had better facilities. They were beating us in one thing, genetics, because this is where government has not been helpful. Something that Idi Amin foresaw in the 70s when he started that farm in Entebbe, then Wiana Stock Farm, 80s, and so on and so forth. We had those district farm institutes. Where are they? They all collapsed in the last 40 years of the NRM government. And that is an area to be looked into, I hope, in the next government. Now, when you go to these research institutions, you remember we had a debate in the 10th Parliament where government was offering narrow land for somebody to grow horticulture. It was a big debate. Coming to education, you can talk about the teachers' strikes today. Why? Because his people first implement, then go back and plan. They choose to plan backward. For example, for heaven's sake, tell me the logic in the science in increasing salaries for science teachers, then you leave the arts teachers without abolishing arts. If you want it, then abolish arts. But you are the ones inciting these arts teachers to strike. But before you even go further, medical students, you are promoting science education. The first thing this government did was to close down science teacher training colleges in the entire Buganda region. There is no teacher training college for science teachers. The only one I know of is in Kabale. I could be educated further. In Uganda there is none, but you're promoting science education. Have you thought about the intern doctors? Their education is regulated by the Ministry of Education. You're supposed to plan because you know this is the year of entry, that is the year of exit. You get to the exit time, there is no plan whatsoever for these students to do internship. And now you're talking about education and promoting science education. Now, taking you to the question you raised about taxes and then corruption. You see, it is basic economics. It's even, you can even read it from Livingstone and Ode when I used to study economics.
Obole.
That is the book I used to read, and then I was able to get an A in economics. Do you talk about the tax rates or widening the base?
The base.
Is it possible or is it not possible in Uganda for everybody to pay taxes and then we pay less? We get the most able and give them tax holidays and exemptions. Most able. Then you look at our resources, the best we can do to exploit our resources is to give them away. It's as if Africa is in a rush for the depletion of its resources. And I have studied this at a continental level. I am a student of tax administration. I went back and decided to specialize in it. It's as if we are rushing, finish the minerals, finish the oil. We do not have the skills to negotiate how to exploit our minerals, but we are rushing to get foreigners to come and deplete them, give them tax holidays, sell the other things we have to contribute to these people to take away these things. I mean, why would you increase the tax rate today? A man like Dr. Jambo, or myself, or any of us for that matter, we are paying almost half of the salary goes into tax.
Not almost, it is now
actually,
half.
It is actually now half. But that is for what we call direct tax. Before we consider the other indirect taxes, if you take 50% of my salary, then I go to buy fuel at the pump, I pay you VAT, and is it excise? Okay. I go to buy consumables in the supermarket, I pay taxes. I mean, what are you left? I will never invest because I have nothing to invest. Yesterday there was a trending clip on WhatsApp by one of our colleagues, the Honorable Rose Obiga, when she invaded a financial institution in Terego, where a teacher went and borrowed 1 million shillings. He actually he had paid up to a tune of 2 million shillings. Then he goes to say, but look, give me a printout of my loan schedule.
Loan repayment schedule.
Loan repayment schedule. I want to see how much I'm left with. And the institution was saying, no, you will get it next month. In the meantime, the interest will be going.
Accumulating.
But tell me, who invests 1 million and expects to get rich? It was amazing the other time when I saw the president when he was mocking us in Wachiso, in Busiro South, where he went and told the woman, now you, wealth has visited your house because you got 2 pigs. Was it 2 pigs or 2 goats? By the way, and the president was proudly telling this woman, for you, you are now liberated.
Okay. Allow me end with Dr. Tang. Doctor, when you look at the electoral process that we're getting into, especially to the ballot, what is your outlook of it?
The first thing is that Dr. talked nicely about the 1960s and how we're exporting a lot of coffee and water. In what form? That's where we lost a lot. We're exporting raw materials. Germany, which has no tree of coffee, you are more used to this than me because you travel as MPs, because you get better salary than all of us. Better monuments.
Because of the work we do.
Because of the government we serve and the government which is doing well.
So which is an unfair government?
The government which is giving you a lot of money.
Yes, making it unfair.
Now, that Germany without a tree of coffee makes more money from coffee from Uganda. Now, this is what the government is saying, that we've had enough.
After 40 years.
It doesn't matter. It's better for you to know that we can even start than to keep remaining there. A stunted growth is not as good. Let us move. So if the government is saying our coffee will not be exported in the old form, which Dr. Jamb is praising, Uganda was producing a lot of cotton. And if you now go to cotton, you need 4 acres to get 800,000.
For us is Vinci who knows nothing about coffee.
No, that's another thing. That's another issue we can debate. Those are failures here and there. But what the government is trying to experiment with is that let's go back to not exporting raw materials as raw materials. Let's get the benefits of doing this here and exporting finished products.
Anyway,
the next thing,
which you've shut down and stalled.
Well, I think
we were already at that
I'm
stage.
not in the book of Lamentations. The next, I'll not belong to that.
Because
so
you cannot tell all Ugandans to take their coffee to Ntungamo.
When you go to agriculture, I quite think he's right. There are problems here and there. The problem of seeds. There was a very big debate about some controller of seeds. I was in Makere by then.
Some of these things are so basic that you buy coffee in Bugisu, carry it to Ntungamo, process it, then drive it back past Bugisu and export it.
No, that is when the Ntungamo is not yet in Bugisu. But all those will be there.
And yet there was Namlesa.
So it will be there. What I'm saying, and
the right thing is to
allow me utilize my time.
Please allow him to finish. Yes.
Please. We are saying as NRM, enough is enough with exporting raw materials. Let us start gaining from here. Those are the fights we have with other capitalist economies. That's why we are saying we still have the Chinas, the Russias, where we can deal with business. But we cannot praise a government of 1964, 1970, 1980, where cotton, you and me, could be byproducts of cotton from the East. We would have lorries coming for cotton from our home, taking it as raw materials. But look at if we had diversified. This is what we are saying now. Don't get Uganda to use 4 acres to produce cotton. Let the 4-acre model have a component of coffee, a component of foodstuff, a component of this. So that in that way, at least you regenerate the wheel. About agriculture in Busoga, the Busoga politicians should stand to tell the truth. The debate which was in Parliament, and you were in Parliament then, was that Busoga should not be touched. Leave our Bikado. Busoga used to be the food basket, even as far as 1994. Because Busoga would have cassava garden, it would have this maize, and then would have sugarcane. But now Busoga are renting out their land to Busoga who can afford for sugarcane.
To the extent that
who has licensed to the extent that you want even a factory to be owned by the local people, is because you don't accept that you cannot go in with only sugarcane.